everyone, welcome to the first video in a series of practice games that Paul and I are playing for Adepticon, where we're prepping our lists for the Adepticon Team Yankee tournament. It is a 74-point tournament from what we know currently using the expanded mission matrix. The mission that we ended up rolling for this video was Scouts Out, so an interesting little meeting engagement that was a lot of fun. We ended up going a little bit over time. I think it was about 10 or 11 turns at the end of it, but you'll have to watch the video, figure out who won. So thank you all. Be sure to check out all my social media down below. We're almost at 10,000 followers on TikTok, so big thank you to you guys for that. My Patreon link is down below as well. I got a lot of neat stuff going on there, so be sure to check those out. But until then, here's the battle. So this was the table setup that we used. A basic crossroads kind of town. Have a church, a manor, some walled-in fields. The hedges are just basically counting as stone walls, a short concealment and bulletproof cover for infantry. Then the white mesh is the best I can do right now for impassable water or a river of any sort. In this instance, it is the impassable water, so a little split that we have in the table like so. So these were the lists that we used. I brought my Soviets and Paul brought his West Germans. Paul had been messing around with Martyr 2 formation, but with how deep reserves work, this was actually the last game that he played with the full Martyr 2 formation, but he's got 3 Zhugs in the HQ to make up the company. Included inside of that formation are the 3 Gepards with their attached Fliegerfaust groups, their Mortar M113s and 2 Looks, reconnaissance vehicles, and then in support he has the 2 Martyr 2 Spa troop and 4 PAH anti-tank helicopters. I think that's what they're called. But then when it shifts over to me for Soviets, I'm bringing a BMP-2 formation. Technically not BMP-2, my apologies. A BMP formation with 1 unit of BMP-2 infantry and another unit of BMP-3 infantry, 8 T-62Ms, 4 Shilkas, 4 Gaskins, 2 of the recon cars, BDR-M2s, and then I'm taking 3 Asadias, BMP-1, and 4 Hinds as formation support. So the Asadias and the T-62s are technically proxies because I only have Carnations and T-72s for the time being. So that was the lists. Mission was Scouts Out, a very interesting mission to say the least. Soviets rolled attacker, pushing West Germans to the defense. Soviets picked the upper right table quadrant to deploy from, putting the West Germans in the lower left. So alternating objectives, attacker placing 1, defender placing 1. We placed 2 objectives, 1 inside of our opponent's deployment area and 1 just outside of our deployment's area, as per the mission dictates. We then had to declare our reserves. I put my 8 T-62Ms and 4 Hinds into reserve, and Paul put a Martyr 2 Zhug, the Looks, and the helicopters into reserve. Welcome to Adepticon Practice, Part 3. Deployment has finished up, with Soviets deploying on both objectives, and then spearheading over into their empty table half to deploy forward with the spearhead. West Germans keeping mostly to their own table quarter, doing minimal spearhead moves to shift people up into the town. Fliegerfausts, Panzer Grenadiers, Martyr 2s. This is the same list Paul ran for his second game. And I'm on version 3 of my list, trying out the dual AA elements. So we will be back after Soviet turn 1, who won the roll-off to be the top of the turn in meeting engagement. So for Soviet turn 1, no movement occurred over here. They all just basically sat themselves in.
No movement from the AA, the BDRMs or BRDMs. The recon cars shifted forward. The infantry got out, moved forward, attempted to follow me, but failed, so the unit leader is the only one inside of this building. These three are SOL in the open, and then these are sitting here. These two BMPs failed their cross-check, but these four shifted up into basically making the fire lanes so that they have to get concealment. BMP 1 shifted up over here. He should be 2 inches back, so I'll check that once I'm done recording. So that is it for Soviet turn 1. German turn 1 movement. Parts shifted up over here. The martyrs, these are the recon ones, kind of shifted. These stayed put. The infantry jumped out, hopped into here. Those three stayed put, and the infantry over here shifted up onto the objective. Onto Soviet turn 2. Soviet turn 2, the infantry ran up and occupied these buildings. The one BMP passed its cross-check, and then the other four shifted out this way. These three dumped missiles into those Martyr 2s and popped them. These two shot main battery in here, missed everything. The two rifle teams in here shot main battery and missed everything. The BMP OP spotted a smoke bombardment there for the Assadias over here, and then all of the BMPs, the 5 here and the 1 here, fired in at the Gepards, taking one out. The infantry moved up onto the objective, gaining bulletproof cover. So, on to German turn 2. West German turn 2, we got a little bit of shifting happening over here, a little bit over here. These guys did an assault and actually killed the AGS team and forced them back into that building. These guys fired onto this team before doing that bit. Actually, did you shoot these guys?
I did not,
okay,
actually.
Perfect then. And that was, they lost a Gepard, or not a Gepard, a BMP. Lost a BMP over there. And then this Martyr over here shifted around, pump shots in. 2 of the BMP-3s over there are dead and 1 is bailed. On to Soviet turn 3. Soviet turn 3, bailed here, shot a lot into that, didn't kill any. Repeat bombarded here, killing a Milan team and a Gustav team. Killed one of the Spa martyrs with a Hail Mary shot from the formation commander. Then the 4 BMPs over here killed a Gepard. Can you get smoke for that Gepard? And forced a failed bail on the formation commander's Martyr 2. Failed my reserve rolls. On to German 3. German turn 3 movement. These infantry jumped out at Martyr here in the middle of the road. Let me shift and zoom in. Popped forward. These shifted down to put fire onto the BMPs, so he killed 2, bailed 1, shot the Gepard over here, nothing happened, and then did a bunch of shooting between the Martyrs and some infantry over here. They did successfully dig in, and so dead scout car and bailed out scout car onto Soviet turn 4. Soviet turn 4, the T-62s, we're practicing with my T-72s, please forgive me, managed to come on and shift forward onto here. For movement, 2 of the Shokas failed their cross-checks, the other ones move forward. The BMPs plopped forward to flub gun the infantry. Then that's really all I did for movement. Shooting, BMP lays the Fliegerfausts with a Hail Mary, dropped Asadias on them, taking 1 out. The T-62s fired at all available targets, killing all 3 of those Martyr 2s, missing that one. The 2 BMPs over here missed. This BMP actually took a Hail Mary into the window that the formation commander was in and hit him, but Paul passed his save. So that should be it for German turn 4, or Soviet turn 4 onto German turn 4.
Upon reviewing the footage, looks like I messed up and missed a turn counter. So it goes from turn 4 Soviet to turn 5 German. However, it looks like that was just notations incorrectly, and that I miscounted while playing as well. So we still kept the turn order. It didn't mess up our reserve dice going through all of the footage. So I'm not entirely sure what happened, so I guess take the turn numbers now as guidelines. Just know that Soviets have the top of the turn and Germans have the bottom of the turn.
West German turn 5. Shifts back. Does some exchanges of fire and bails out these 2 BMPs. Gepard fires into there. Formation command spots artillery. They kill a singular rifle team. Onto Soviet turn 6. Aftermath of German turn 6, the Martyr 2s come on the field, wipe the BMPs, the infantry and everything else does some shooting, messes up some other things. These infantry came on from here. They successfully dug in. Formation lead went right here. The anti-tank helicopter fell to the massed AA missiles coming at it onto German or Soviet turn 7. all the action over here for Soviet turn 7. A lot of fire went into here, pinning them once again, but no kills happened. Heinz shifted over, killed 2 of the Martyr 2s. There's only 1 Martyr 2 left. T-62s drove up the center. Only 1 was able to get a shot out at this Milan team and missed. So on to German turn 7. German turn 7, got that down to 2 stands, killed 1 Shilka, bailed the other, and that was really about it. So on to Soviet turn 8. Soviet turn 8. The T-64s moved up, the Heinz moved up, the Shilka fled, or ran back, didn't flee. The AK-74 teams on the objective fled, however. This BMP came forward. These 2 failed their cross-checks, but managed to follow me out into the eddy in that river. 2 of the Gaskins passed their cross, and then the other 2 failed. Shooting-wise, the T-62s main battery onto these guys, putting 1 left. These fired into these, making it so there's only 2 left, and failed range in on the BMP-1. On to German turn 8. German turn 8. Infantry over here dug in. This Martyr jumped forward. Milan popped behind. Soviet turn 9, successful range in, no hits. Heinz bailed the last Martyr 2, and the T-62s fired on the formation lead, causing a join, and passed his saves. The BMP started shifting. This BMP went up here, and these guys continue shifting around over there. On to German turn 9. German turn 9, failed to unpin, failed to unbail, but passed all the last stands, then sat there and passed turns. So on to Soviet turn 10. We're just going to be doing videos now, no hyperlapses, because it's very minimal. So I'm actually just going to do the straight recording right now. So we're going to have the 8 T-80s firing onto this unit, needing 6s.
Yep.
Or let me do my movement first, because he's going to flip himself over here so he can add his fire to it. And then going to do a roll on the BMP over there for a terrain check, which passes. So they are going to be moving. They're going to be dashing up to the center of the road. Like so. These guys, we're going to do a cross check on our Gaskin once again. 4+. Get it this time. So they are all now out, going to be doing their tactical 10 to bring them forward here. Let me drive forward. Driving forward. Driving forward. And driving forward. Okay, so we're gonna spin our Heinz around here. Shift them over like so to attempt a Burt. Measuring tape. Need to check myself here. So he's gonna have to be backed up a little bit. Okay, cool. He's good. Then they gotta move back inch and a half. Which is still within 4, so we'll quick reset these guys like so. So that then the Hinds can fire. So we're going to start with the Hinds here, firing their Gatling guns into this guy, so needing... Didn't shoot, didn't move, but you're not getting concealment, because I don't have terrain in front, so it's still just a flat 4. So... Where's all my dice? 1 Hind, 2 Hind, 3 Hind, 4 Hind.
There's only 3.
Oh yeah, you're right. I thought in my head I said 3. So thank you.
Yep.
So 4s.
Yep.
5 hits.
5 hits. There's only 1 of them.
Yep.
And we're not having the guy join, so...
Nope. So 5 hits, needing 3s. Every single one passed. He is pinned, however. And now we're doing the 2, 4, 6, 8. The 8 T80s needing 6s. 1 hit, so a brutal save.
Yep.
2+ firepower. And that's game.
Yay.
So with that unit dying, I started on the objective. And he's your formation here? He's outside 4? Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's outside 4. So T-62s, bringing it home on turn 10.
Yep.
Alright, so really lickety split AAR, because this is going to be on YouTube. Game took 2.5, 3 hours, so pretty solid for 10 turns. You know, even with all this pausing and recording and such that we were doing, or that I was doing with it, getting the time lapses set up in the corner, and the photographs for the Facebook posts and the videos. Soviet impressions, the T-62s, that was an incredible choice. That's a lot better than having the 2 extra Hinds and the extra squad of BMPs, and that's more viable against other stuff as well.
Exactly. The not being able to shoot them from the front with the markers is a pain.
Yeah, and that's across the board too.
Yep.
You know, if I can find a way to shift 2 points around, I could also give them 48-inch range missiles. I mean, they're AT-21, so it'd be the same issue, but the main battle tanks definitely help.
Oh yeah.
You're still getting used to having to use your Gepards as AA elements and not elements to hunt BMPs, because I haven't played with air that much, because it very rarely works for me. But now I finally have had some back-to-back games where it's kind of done something. I was a little over-aggressive with my BMP3s over here. Blanked on the fact that you were guaranteed your Mark 2s. And those Mark 2s just make it so it's dead BMPs. You know, I shifted myself forward to make room for everybody to be able to fire on you without realizing that you'd be able to counter onto it. And I'm definitely liking the Shokas and the Gaskins. You know, the Shokas, it kind of sucked that they were only AT-6, so I couldn't threaten the Martyr 2s, but at the place that they're in the game, it didn't really matter, because I was just doing main battery, or I was just burning your infantry and then backed off when too much died.
Mm-hmm. And then just having the helicopters, once that's done, then the Gaskins?
Yeah.
Because the Gaskins can just...
Yeah, they were driving forward just to hold these guys up to force them to do something. My biggest, you kind of effed up moment was they were combat ineffective. They just sat there.
Yeah.
They went, I think, 1 or 2 turns without shooting. If it's 2 turns, that's 18 shots that you didn't even roll. That could have wiped out even more. Good assault over here when you hopped these buildings and took care of that and pushed them off. You messed them up good, and then whittling them down slowly until that gets taken care of. But
that was pretty. I feel like that was pretty much why it took so long.
Yeah.
Because I think
they were within 4.
No, I mean
The infantry.
No, the assault. Because if the assault failed, they actually wouldn't have moved because they're outside of the.
Yeah, if they were outside of 8. Well, when it would have flipped, they would have had to be outside of 8 inches from this house.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, the only thing that really messed you up was the capards, and it made my hinds be able to reign free there at the end. And I'm liking the 4 hinds and 8 T62s.
We just gotta remember that now that we're not doing leopard swarm, that the guepards don't hunt BMPs. They should be hunting BMPs anyway.
No, they can. You just you're using them too aggressively. They're very good at killing light armor, but
it's inappropriate at this point.
They would have been better off chilling back here or back in here, waiting for the hinds to arrive, or taking pot shots on stuff coming up this way. You know, like I was overly passive with my Shokas. It probably is something in between.
Should have been really more defensive instead of aggressive.
Well, it wasn't even that you were being defensive. You were passive in some areas and active in others.
I mean, that's because over here it was the opposite of what was happening over here.
Over here was just pot shots. Nothing was going on.
You had to actually move into my line of fire, and I was moving into yours over here. So.
Yeah. So I mean, the thing was, what I'm saying is, you needed to pick. You passively let me run into you over here and then took 1 unit basically and threw it out here for me to be able to fire down. Those could have been Leo 1s or base Leo 2s, and they would have run into the same problem.
What's the AT?
AT-21. You would have had saves, but it would have been the same problem. It would have been 6 missiles going out to 1 unit with 1 target.
Yeah, the fact that I couldn't shoot that just was the placement.
And the only reason for you to even get on the other side of this road was if you were planning on assaulting that objective.
Which kind of was the plan for those murders, but then we actually measured it and decided no.
Yeah. But all in all, decent game. Made it all the way. We had better attitudes about it because we were actually rested. So, good game.
Yay.
Good practice. See you guys next time. A huge shout out to all my patrons who continue to support me. You're all absolutely amazing, incredible, and I cannot thank you enough for doing what you do. General Paxton, Colonel 1999 Jeep Cherokee, Colonel Carter was here, Colonel Tall Step YT, Colonel I Like Tanks, Colonel Envy, Colonel Paul, Colonel Ripley, and Lieutenant Thailand, thank you. Thank you all for your support. You're amazing.